So yesterday I've been cutting up all the wood that we found out there. In one of the first episodes we cleared it up, Michaela and I. And yesterday I started cutting it all in roughly 30 centimeters so that we can use it in our kaklung. And today I am finishing up bringing everything downstairs. So we've got some space in the cellar that was used as wood storage before. So I'm just stacking everything nice and easy down there, so on a rainy or snowy day we don't have to come outside and get everything. We just have it all downstairs. Well, it's not always perfect, is it? Slowly but surely, getting somewhere. Satisfying.
Luckily, we got some wood stacked up because before we knew it...
Morning. So it's actually crept up by a degree. It's -5 when I got up earlier. So let's say -4 at the moment.
Winter had arrived.
I'll just start a little fire. Nice.
The crisp mornings are beautiful when the sun is shining, covering everything in a frosty, glittering blanket. This week has been all about last-minute winter preparations. Hanging insulating blankets in doorways.
Tell me I'm not making friends in Sweden.
Making sure the van was going to cope with the cold. And above all, ensuring we keep the fire going as our only heating source. The new season brings with it its own sort of magic. So it may be cold, oh yes, but there's something special that we can't quite put into words. A sort of enchanted calm, a time for slowing down and some much needed reflection.
Titta! Hej! Hejsan, vad fin du är! Ja, hej!
We found this super cool crochet bedspread or blanket the other day at our favourite loppis, and it was perfect for hanging in between this doorway for keeping some of the warmth in from the fire because it's so much colder now. Wow, winter has arrived. But it's really highlighted how much I've not painted these skirting doorways. What do you call them? The doorway, whatever. So I was thinking that I'm going to give these doorways here a little lick of paint so that they blend in nicely with the brand new white floors that we painted, was it last week? Just trying Otto's running shorts here by the fire. The fire's not actually on. There's nothing burning in there, it's just warm. So don't worry, there's no fire risk. Okay, I've got to find the masking tape. Is anyone else in the bad habit of pouring a coffee and then forgetting about it and not remembering until it's cold? I'm definitely guilty of that most days. Masking tape, where would it be? No, that would have been too easy. That would have been too easy. I'll take my coffee with me, that way I won't forget. And the sun has come out to play, which is such a blessing. The change from living in a small city apartment to owning our own house and land
comes with its own set of challenges, but also a few cool opportunities. For those of you who have followed us for a while now, you'll know that we moved to Sweden in order to settle down and to build a home, and ultimately to be closer to nature, and to feel better after living some really stressful years in London. And with this in mind, this week's video is kindly sponsored by Reolink. There's of course the need to keep ourselves and our home safe. There's also the opportunity of getting even closer to the wildlife here in the Swedish countryside. It's like, Mum.
No, it's such a cute little run.
This is Dad.
Luckily for us, Reolink have the perfect solution and sent us their Altus PT Ultra camera to try out. It was super quick and easy to install. The camera comes with an attachment for the wall, but we preferred to use the included strap so that we could avoid drilling into the house. This means that it's also easy to move around in order to choose the perfect location. The camera is connected to the Reolink app on our phone, so even if we're not at home, we get a notification, and the footage is also saved locally and securely on a micro SD card. With 10-second pre-recording, the camera's really smart for us because it distinguishes between people, pets, vehicles, and other objects. Super handy because it alerts us when Tony wants to come back inside from his adventures, when there's a delivery at the door, or in order to hopefully capture a bit of wildlife at night that we wouldn't otherwise get to see. The camera has 360-degree automatic tracking in 4K colour night vision, which is perfect for those darker periods over the winter months.
As we are not living in an apartment anymore, we are more open to unexpected visitors, and our security is a very high priority for us. So we've installed some cameras around the house so we can keep an eye out for each other and Tony.
The camera has a 500-day lasting battery and added solar panel support, so charging may not even be necessary.
Whether you want to increase the security of your house or capture some amazing wildlife moments, don't miss Reolink's biggest Black Friday deals of the year. You can check out the links in the description to explore their exclusive discounts. Thank you again for our friends at Reolink for sponsoring this part of the video.
I did. It was downstairs in a box. Thank you. Beautiful. It's going to say evening sun. It's about 1 p.m. Feels like evening sun though. It's crazy how dark it's getting so quickly. Otto and I have been thinking a lot about childhood dreams, and not just childhood dreams, but just things that have occurred to us at some point in life that we either feel is like a calling or we feel really inspired to do. And how often so many of us don't act on those urges and callings. For the digital world, people were maybe a bit more creative in their downtime because, well, there wasn't, for one, there might not even have been TV at that time to distract us and to entertain us, but we just had kind of our minds to seek inspiration, and so people would be more creative, whether it's drawing or even knitting, or maybe it's sports, or whatever. Even sitting down and just doing a puzzle together is quite rare these days. We don't necessarily have to make a career out of these things, but if we can make a career out of it, well, that's really special. I've always felt sort of envious. Well, I guess not envious, I'm not really that sort of person, but I always wished when I was younger that I had more of a clear view of like what I wanted to do with my life, so to speak, because it seemed like that's the way the world's set up. You have to know what you want to be from school age because you've got to choose the subjects you study, and then off you go into your career, and you're not really supposed to stray from that career or change your mind. I had quite a lot of change in my life growing up. We moved around an awful lot. I went to 12 or 13 different schools, and
we were always on the go, and I always felt like the odd one out. I was always the new kid. I was also very sensitive, which I worked very hard to hide. And so we never lived in one place for very long, and I never had the stability to figure out, well, who am I? What's my passion? What am I good at? Because everything just became about pure survival, just fitting in. And when we put out our last video, we had quite a lot of comments to do with, well, you know, this is how things work in Sweden, get in line. And I don't, in my opinion, don't think that everyone has to look at that the same. I don't think that everyone has to agree that a digital world is better than an offline world. I think you can meet somewhere in the middle, at the very least, discuss these things respectfully and with an open mind. And accept that not everybody has grown up with the same experiences, and that builds a different perception. For me, having had so much change and moved around so much, I didn't ever really find myself until now, when I'm starting to really intentionally put time into understanding myself and slowing down enough to hear what my heart wants and not just try to fit into the external around me, because that didn't work out very well for me. That didn't leave me feeling very good at all. That's the fastest way to getting lost in life, I'd say, is just trying to fit in with everyone else. I think finding our own path and calling and moving with love is always going to lead you somewhere good, you know? Right, that's coat number 1 done. Gonna go for a quick walk. Oh, you can see the evening sun there through the window. Gonna go for a quick walk because I haven't really been out today, and otherwise I will probably lose my mind if I just stay indoors. So I'm gonna make the most of this drying time. Come back and do coat number 2, and then hopefully hang the curtain back up because it's gonna get cold otherwise. So it's pure ice on the road here. A lot of it's really not easy to see, so you could call it black ice, I suppose.
Oh, I would love to go.
Whoa.
Go for a last bike ride, but it's kind of good. I think.
No more bike rides.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Are we even gonna make it back to paint the second coat? I don't know. We've just noticed how much warmer it is here in the woods, and the trees have, especially the big pine trees and whatnot, they have antifreeze sort of thing, like glucose, which stops them from freezing, and I'm guessing perhaps that's why it's warmer in the woods. Time to head home. The light's almost gone. Beautiful though. Look at that light, so pink. Okay, you ready, Tony? Oh well, I can't do this with one hand, can I? Unfortunately, it's dark now, so you can't really see the outcome too much, but you can see it looks fresher, can't you? Looks a little cleaner, just a little neater.
Vlogging in Biltema has got to be one of the most uncomfortable things. But the more you practice, the less awkward it becomes. So we came here to buy some antifreeze for the van. We found that they've got an antifreeze tester, which will let us know if we actually need to replace all of the antifreeze. We're hoping to get away with just using what's already in there, to be honest.
Well, it's good to know where we stand.
It is good to know where we stand. Oh my, I'm still not used to how cold it is.
Rien ne va plus.
Yappa. Oh, that's a nice gold one. Sick. We love an IPA scene. This is saying, if you can see the arrow, can you see the arrow behind? There you go, that we don't need to.
So we saved ourselves to
399 crowns. we've
minus
saved.
40.
Yeah,
So yeah, 350 crowns. We're just testing it.
nice one.
Might need dressing my age.
Yes. You'd fit in with the old boys at Biltema. Not like that. Absolutely, yes. Keep rolling. What? Keep
Turn the camera. It's that time again. It's a bit colder, but I'm loving it. You'll have to excuse the heavy breathing and sweating. I just finished my daily run, and for once in the daylight, because I kind of love running at night. Well, at night, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It gets really dark here. Yeah, I like the just the peace and quiet, and I tend not to run with any music then and just completely focus in. Whilst other times like now, I put my music in and I kind of enjoy the upbeat and the, you know, it's kind of motivating in a little bit to push a little bit harder. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. I realised that the older I'm getting, and I'm only 39, in the last couple of years, I've been reflecting a lot more. And a lot of it is definitely thanks to Michaela. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about what my dreams were when I was younger, before I started a career or before I started, you know, working, and what the things were that I kind of looked up to or wanted to be, because I realized that most of the things are still the exact same things that I really enjoy. Being in nature, sport, being on my own. I was not someone who had huge groups of friends around him. I was quite of a loner, but I was happy to be. It was my safe space, my happy place. And like when my parents had fortunate enough to have a holiday home in France in nature, I would go off on my own pretty much every day and just go walking in the fields and finding all sorts and keeping myself busy. I could play in a river the whole day and then have to go home for food, and then can't wait to the next day go back and just move rocks around in the river. Just trying to think that, like, before I start working, because I know we've mentioned a few times that, you know, I was working in London in luxury retail, but before that I was in Belgium and I was managing nightclubs and events, and short period of time worked for a very small record label, which I enjoyed, but I think it was more trying to fit in and trying to, you know, it was a cool job, and there was a lot of people around me that, for obvious reasons, trying to, you know, get an easy access to the club, free drinks, or just ego, being seen, and, you know, I think I was telling myself I loved it, but it wasn't something I was, you know, a dream. So yeah, that made me think, like, what were the things that I really enjoyed and that I, you know, am still, and it's being in nature, which I'm doing now. I used to go on surf trips with, I think it was O'Neill. Back in the day, he was doing surf camps, and I would just sign up on my own and just like a whole month. They do it week by week, and I would just sign up for a whole month. I would go to Spain with a bunch of strangers. I remember, I think when I was very little, we were asked to draw what we wanted to be later in school, and I came home with a drawing of me sitting on a horse with a flashlight on top of my head, and I was going out to save the animals. I guess it was my view of a veterinarian. So I think what I was trying to say yesterday after my run, I think the main thing was we have these big dreams when we're younger, and then we kind of either go to school or get, forced in a decision to make to what to study. What do you want to become when you're older? And there's only so many options, or you score well in a certain subject. So you think, I'll just go for that because it'd be better. I remember there was a choice when I was younger to still learn Latin. I wasn't a good student. I left school early. I start working. Yeah, what were your big dreams? And did you follow through? Were you able to? Or, do you reflect and think, yeah, actually, I really, really always wanted to work with my hands and do something. And then do you create that later on in life as a hobby? Or do you decide, hey, do you know what? No, I'm going to pursue that dream and I'm going to go for it. Which is exactly what Michaela and I are doing now. We, both got completely sucked into the whole fitting in and behaving a certain way and making a certain amount of money a month to feel happy, or to be, or to think that we're happy. And we're discovering now, yes, it's a struggle. We live off what YouTube is paying us out at the moment. I don't need the complete, electric car on the porch. But yeah, I want to be really rich in experiences, and in here. That's where I want to be rich. And the only one that can do that is me. And we can support each other with that, and we can, Michaela and I are doing everything we can to make sure that we work on our mental wealth, so to speak. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you longer, but let me know if you're working the dream job, or you're working towards the dream job. Is there something you've always wanted but haven't had the courage to start? Maybe this is the time. Maybe you just sit down and put down what the worst possible outcome is, and see if you can deal with that, and see if that's something that you're willing to risk. Because there's always a risk, right? Yeah, let me know. I'm intrigued. See ya.
Until next week, lovers, we hope you're staying warm. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee, link in the description. See you soon. Love you.